Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a totally fundamental concept from your ACCA Business and Technology syllabus. We are strictly breaking down two little words that literally trip up countless students every single exam session. Let's get right into it. So, are cost and expense the exact same thing? Look, in everyday conversation, you and I use these words interchangeably all the time, right? You might say, man, what's the cost of that new phone? Or wow, that subscription is a huge monthly expense. It feels like the exact same concept, just money leaving your pocket. But listen up, because here is the ultimate rookie mistake in ACCA, treating these everyday financial words as synonyms on your exam paper. Because in the strict world of accounting, they are absolutely not the same thing. And trust me, the examiner knows you might naturally think they are.
Okay, to really understand the difference, here is your golden definition for cost. A cost is the amount spent to acquire something. Now, I want you to put heavy emphasis on that word acquire. You need to separate it completely from your everyday language. When a business actually parts with its cash to bring a resource in, that initial outlay is a cost. You are securing something for future benefit. You haven't consumed it yet. You haven't, burnt through it to make a sale. You've simply spent an amount to acquire it. Make sense?
But here is where the whole concept pivots. An expense is a cost used in operations. Focus right on that word used. As your BT1 notes clearly outline, an expense is a cost incurred to generate revenue. It's basically the cost of actually running the business. So think about it. You had that initial cost when you acquired something, right? But once your business actually starts operating, once the gears start turning and you start consuming those resources to earn your income, well, that cost evolves. It completely transforms. It is actively used.
So the absolutely crucial point is this one-line summary. Cost becomes expense when used. Let me say that again. Cost becomes expense when used. This is literally a golden mantra from your syllabus. I want you to permanently cement this in your brain right now. You see, a cost doesn't just disappear. It just sits there as an acquired resource until it is consumed by the business. But the very second it's consumed, the exact second it's used up to generate revenue, boom, it graduates into an expense. And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates the entire life cycle of money leaving your business.
Let's ground this in reality so your brain really logs the practical difference here. Take a look at this side-by-side comparison straight from your ACC examples. Over on the left, we've got buy machine equals cost. When you buy a piece of heavy machinery, you are acquiring an asset. You are spending a specific amount to acquire something that's going to provide future economic benefit. That, my friends, is a cost. But then look over on the right. Use electricity equals expense. I mean, you don't acquire a giant stockpile of electricity to just sit in a warehouse somewhere, right? No, you use it. You consume power to keep the lights on, to run that heavy machinery, and to operate the business day to day. Consuming that power, actually using it in operations, well, that is an expense.
All right, everyone, high alert right here. We are shifting into pure exam survival mode. This right here is the ultimate exam trap. The examiner absolutely loves to test if you really understand this distinction or if you're kind of just guessing. So in a scenario question, if you see the phrase used in business or cost of running the business, do not fall for the trick. Do not select cost. The absolute instant or resources described as used or consumed for daily operations, your brain needs to flash bright red. Remember your golden mantra and you must select expense. The examiner is testing you on exactly how that cost has evolved.
And that brings us to a final thought for you to chew on. The next time you see money leaving the bank, whether you're working through a tricky practice question or you're out there in the real world, I really want you to ask yourself this. Are you acquiring a cost or are you using an expense? Are you bringing a brand new resource in or are you consuming a resource to keep the business running and actually generate revenue? Keep that golden rule front and center, apply it rigorously to every single scenario you read, and I promise you, you're going to nail these questions every single time. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep up the fantastic focused learning, and I'll catch you next time.